everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot. And if I sound a little croaky, I do feel a little croaky. If I sound a little croaky, it's because I've had a minor surgical procedure. I'm back at home. I'm well. I'm recovering well. Ironically, while I was in hospital, I had a moment to have my own fruit salad elevated for dinner last night. It had a little, not even a sprig of mint in it. It had half a leaf of mint on top. I would have taken a photo and posted it on my community tab if I'd felt up to it, but I didn't. But it did make me laugh. And even more startling, I heard the ghostly voice of Meghan Markle as I was in the ward, and it turned out that someone in a room near me was watching Dan Wootton tearing Meghan's new show to shreds. So that I found quite funny and wanted to share with you. But anyway, I'm back, and today I'm looking at Meghan and how she seems to devalue and demean people. Something that has become quite clear in this show that is streaming at the moment on Netflix. It's been pilloried, as we all thought it would be, torn to shreds by various very articulate commentators. It'd been miles of ink spent on this show, but I want to look at two things today. And the first is this Mindy Kaling moment, where Meghan is being accused now of being a racist bully by some people on X, to the extent that it's been picked up by the Hindustan Times. And reason being is that during their awkward little encounter, where we realised they really aren't friends, it's a very transactional kind of relationship, Mindy had obviously been primed to ask about Meghan's clothes, and so she said, "Meghan, I want to ask you about your look." And Meghan said, "My look," and then we had this whole Lewk thing, and I've watched it. I watched it before it had become a thing. And it was awkward, it was uncomfortable. I couldn't tell the dynamic. Was it mocking? Was it jokey? What was going on? But it seemed unnecessary. I would have edited it right out if it were me. It got picked up by someone on X, someone also of Indian origin, as Mindy Kaling is, and said it reminded her of her childhood, of being bullied for odd lapses in pronunciation because of her Hindi origin, her Hindi inflection when she talked, and she thought the same thing was going on now with Meghan. And as I say, it's been picked up by the Hindustan Times, it's been picked up by other newspapers as well, and they're making quite a fuss about it at the moment. And I think it's highly ironic for someone who accused the royal family of being racist bullies to now herself be accused of being a racist bully. So, oops, the camera is having a bit of a slump there. I have the Pulp Tarot on the tarot table today. It's a nice trashy tarot. I think we're in trashy territory with this With Love Meghan show. So let's have a quick look and see what's going on. What was the dynamic in the moment from Meghan's point of view, from Mindy? How did Mindy feel about this? Was it oh ha ha so funny, or was it hurtful? How does Meghan feel about being called out as a racist bully now? And how's the relationship progress? Remembering, of course, that this was all filmed about 9 months ago. And since then, Mindy Kaling has allegedly bought herself, because it turns out you can buy yourself a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Apparently that's how it goes. Meghan wasn't invited to that celebratory moment. So how's the friendship? I use that term very loosely now. How's that friendship right now? We've already looked and dug around at this, but Mindy's in the spotlight at the moment for being, some people say, possibly the best guest on the show, apart from Roy Choi, because she at least had some snark and some spark, and she kind of, there's the devil. That's what we need to see. I, again, haven't watched the show, not going to watch the show, watched bits, watched commentary on it. And so I'm not speaking from really direct experience about any of this. Although, as I say, I did catch that Lewk moment, and it was a bad Lewk, shall we just say. So we'll see what's going on. What was Meghan up to in the moment? Mindy's feelings. Meghan's feelings on being accused of being a racist bully. And where is that friendship now? And let's remind you, it's tarot. It's for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinions, all speculation. And disclaimer in the box below. Let's see what's going on with this little story. Oh, we've got the Magician in reverse, and that's of course our PR thing, our spin doctor, our pulling the rabbit out of the hat, something out of nothing kind of a thing. And when it's in reverse, you get a situation really in this case where you can't spin it. It's very awkward. It's a very awkward card, even when it's upright for me. It's a card, it's an energy I don't like because it's an untrustworthy energy for me, the Magician. You just, it's a trickster energy. It's an, what's it, narrator, an unreliable narrator. And there we've got this situation that has spun out of control, I think, with that Magician thing. It's always something with Meghan. Something happens, something unforeseen that sabotages her. And that for me is what that Magician energy in reverse is telling us. So let's have a look at the actual situation. What is the nature of the game we're dealing with? We've got the Six of Pentacles and it's in reverse. It's a quid pro quo card, giving as good as you get when it's upright. In reverse, it's unfair, it's an unequal status, and it can be bullying. If something is unequal, it's because someone thinks that they're dominant and they're taking it out on someone else and making someone else sort of beg for crumbs. And in this case, Meghan was supposedly dominant. It's her show. She's the one wearing the designer outfit that Mindy was primed to ask about as part of her invitation onto the show. Come and be on my Netflix show. There's nothing that wasn't transactional about that situation as far as I can tell, my opinion. And Mindy was on the wrong end of this situation in that encounter. But as far as the actual episode went, it seems like Mindy turned the tables on Meghan, Magician in reverse, and Mindy really was dominant in this show, according to people who've really watched it and analysed it very clearly. So that's quite interesting. It's a power play that's going on here, really. So what was Meghan up to in the moment? What was her energy really expressing? Was it confusion? Was it mockery? Was it malice? What was going on? Allegedly, we've got the Four of Swords, and it's in reverse. The Four of Swords is a cruel energy because it's something that follows a defeat and a betrayal, and normally it go away, shut up, hide, reflect, maybe see things differently while you're doing all of that. But it's in the reverse, which is carrying on with something that you shouldn't. It's something you should stop. It's something you should let go and be quiet about and disappear. It's not something that you should raise, but it's almost like an irresistible urge to keep picking at something that you shouldn't. That's what's coming through for me with that Four of Swords in reverse. It's got a little bit of an energy about it. Even though I'm asking the question directly later on in this reading, it does have a little bit of that energy of, ooh, I should have let it go, and now I'm tossing and turning. Just because of the artwork that's on this thing, it's meant to be a kind of a death. The Four of Swords after a defeat, a betrayal, a wounding. You've got to heal, you've got to rest and recover, but you can't because you know you've done wrong. So there's quite a complex energy in there. But I think when she got that sign of weakness, that lapse, maybe Mindy did genuinely misspeak in that moment, Meghan couldn't let it go. Couldn't turn it into a joke and haha. It turned nasty. That's how it came across. And that's how it's coming across in the energy here. And of course, this is all my opinion because I know that there's a lot of trolls out there at the moment trying to shut down any criticism of this show and of Meghan Markle right now, particularly on YouTube. Just saying. So how did Mindy feel in that moment? Did she think it was a big joke? Was she offended? Was she upset? What happened? Oh, she didn't like it. 7 of Swords. She really didn't like it. The energy between them is dreadful. That 4 of Swords, Meghan picking at the thing she should have let go, and Mindy feeling 7 of Swords, feeling wronged, feeling like something had happened to her that was unethical, shady. That's the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is the thief. It's just someone stealing away with something, getting away with something. It's a very negative card, the 7 of Swords, and you can see the thief in action here, breaking into that safe, taking stuff that's not theirs. Not that Meghan stole anything from Mindy, not that Mindy feels like she's been robbed of anything, except possibly her pride, her sense of self, her dignity. And that's what we're really talking about. We're talking about this accusation of racism, of being a mean girl, being a bully. And what does a bully do to you? They take away your dignity. They take away your sense of self, your security about yourself. They make you feel insecure. And there it is in that 7 of Swords. It's quite an interesting card to show up in this particular context. It's a very uncomfortable reading, this, and a bit of a lopsided reading with the camera, but never mind, it's a bit of a lopsided tarot reader today. Let's move on to how Meghan feels right now that this has become a story. It's become a thing that has spun out of control. That's our Magician in reverse. How's she feeling about this? Oh, we've got the Chariot in reverse. Didn't expect it. Got this card a few times recently. It's the ambition card, the forward motion, driving forward, pushing forward, getting your own way, being the boss, being the master of your destiny, all of that stuff. And suddenly the wheels come off and you find yourself either stopped in your tracks or you find yourself on the wrong path. And I think both things for Meghan. Never foresaw this, thought it was a brilliant episode. And there have been moments like this before where she's put something out and people have said, hang on a minute, that's just so off. Most recently, the Archie child watering the garden moment, which Meghan obviously thought was a tender bonding moment with her infant son. And then everyone pointed out how awkward it was and how inappropriate his behavior was and how alarming it was. And the whole narrative spun out of control. She doesn't see, in my opinion, what normal people see. Normal people saw this interaction and felt uncomfortable and triggered. Meghan saw this interaction and probably thought it was quite witty and funny and ha-ha until people reacted to it negatively. And it's a big moment for her because this could throw everything off course. There was talk a while ago that she and Harry were planning on making a trip to India, one of their 4 royal tours. That got shut down pretty quickly. And then Ghana sort of was the replacement. Not replacing like with like, and no offense to Ghana. But yeah, it's a big problem for her because it's a big card, Major Arcana, the Chariot. And it's pushed her story off course, even though I think she's managing to get Netflix to inflate the watching figures and make it look like her show is a success. Everyone can see it's not. From all the reviews that have come out, they're universally terrible across the full spectrum of opinion, from left to middle of the road to right. It's all terrible. This is particularly terrible, though, for her. Unexpected and terrible. Tell me about the relationship, where it stands now, because as I say, this all happened a long, long time ago. A lot of water under the bridge. A Hollywood Walk of Fame star for Mindy Kaling. No Meghan in sight. Where are they now, the two of them? We've got the King of Wands. This is a Netflix deal. It's not telling me directly about their relationship because I think we can already see that the relationship is in a state of a failure here. 6 of Pentacles in reverse, Magician in reverse, 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords, Chariot in reverse. Terrible cards. There's no sign of friendship, of affection, of connection in these cards. And then we get the big Netflix cards, the King of Wands. And of course, Mindy has her own show on Netflix, which I think she's the showrunner for. Kate Hudson's in it. Mindy's quite a big Netflix star. Mindy's just been to the Oscars. She goes to all the awards ceremonies. She's Flavor of the Month. She's had a bit of a flop recently, but she's still popular, successful. She's got Netflix backing. She's much more successful than Meghan. She, I assume, was sent on to Meghan's show because she was one of the ones who would agree to go. Netflix was hunting around desperately for people to sign up to be on the show. Lots of no's, apparently. Lots of people turned it down. Mindy, for whatever reason, said, okay, I'll put up my hand, I'll go. Mindy's the one here with all the power and all the success and all the status right now and the backing of Netflix. This is what this card is telling me, because it's sitting under that Four of Swords also, which is Meghan's failure. And even though Meghan has failed, Four of Swords, she's still insisting on pushing herself forward and trying to make fetch happen. Not going to happen, Meghan. Not going to happen. It is happening for Mindy. And I think that is all Mindy Kaling really cares about. But she was offended by this. It hurt. Seven of Swords is a very, very uncomfortable energy. That is, of course, my opinion. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.